is it so difficult for us? Are we scared? What do I normally teach or talk about? Many of you here, you've been here with me countless number of Monday mornings. Okay, I need us to answer. Okay, someone, I'm getting a message on the chat saying, Madam Olufumilayo, you asked questions what we did over the weekend. Okay. Okay, someone said, Mama Salu Abimbola says prospecting. That's what I talk about. Okay, that's good. That's good. Please, I need you. Don't be scared. Feel free. Whatever you have in your mind, you feel I usually teach or talk about on a Monday morning, I need you to send it to me. All right, it's very important. Let us go. I can't believe it's only 2 persons. You know what? I will start unmuting all of you here, starting with you, Mr. Churchill. What do I do on Monday morning, sir? Unmute yourself and answer. What do I do on Monday morning?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
And with you?
What you do on Monday morning is to charge us up to ensure that our energy is on the high level in order to move the business forward by reviewing what we did during last week and then being focused.
Okay, review. I got a message from...
No, charge. I say charge. I say you charge us up.
Okay, I charge you up. Okay, that's wonderful. I think I always charge people up in all my meetings, so I don't think that's a very, very unique answer. There's something unique I do on Monday mornings. Mr. Emmanuel Oduen says, reviews of what has happened. Okay, Madam Bosede Arehun said, how many people are we able to follow up? Okay, I need us to really answer me. You will talk about prospecting and talk about 90 days prospecting. Okay, that's 90 days repeating challenge. That's from Mama Princess Falashade Akala. Mama Akala, I'm really happy to have you in the meeting today. God bless you being here. Madam Blessing says, induct people into the Millionaire School. I induct on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's not something unique I do on Monday morning. Mama Kinde said, induct new people to our Millionaire School. Even you, Mama Kinde, you can't even get the answer correctly. Only one person here has gotten the answer exactly as it is. And so without wasting much time, the person that got the answer exactly as it is Mr. Emmanuel Oduen. Mr. Emmanuel Oduen said, reviews of what has happened. Listen to me. The word review is very, very powerful. It is, for me, that's the reason why a lot of people continue on a wrong path for a very long time. That's the reason why a lot of people stay and they think they are doing something full of activity, but yet no productivity. That word review is very, very simple, but at the same time is one of the most underrated activities in business. I'm telling you, that's one of the most underrated activities in business. I will keep teaching this. Every Monday morning, I talk about review. Review your past life, review your past business, review the things that are working for you and the things that aren't working for you. Yes. Review is very, very important. Review as it is, as an activity, have been able to save me a lot in life. I've been able to save me a lot in business. I've been able to save me a lot in my relationships. I've been able to save me a lot in my career. It has saved me quite a lot. Review. The word review is actually what you can apply in so many areas of your life. And the reason why a lot of people keep a cycle of failure, a cycle of struggles, is because they fail to review. They fail to review. If I should ask you today, what is working right now for you in your life, in your business, can you tell me? You can't tell me if you don't sit down to review. There are certain things that you encounter challenges along the line, building them, but that doesn't mean they are bad. That doesn't mean it doesn't work for you. So it is when you've done review on those particular things over a period of time, then you'll be able to come up with a logical conclusion on what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Review is a word that is highly underrated, and I need us to start taking it to heart. Every Monday morning, I ask always for everyone to review. Review your past week. It's very easy to sit down and say you're working hard. Let me tell you, proof that you're working hard is result. No matter how hardworking you think you are, If there is no result to show for it, you are not working hard. It's very important you understand that. The first place you see your results in our business is how many persons attended our live Zoom meeting or watched the recorded video. How many persons do you add to your follow-up list? That's the first place where you check whether you are working hard or not. A lot of us, we are full of activities. A lot of us think that, by just doing things, results should just come automatically. It doesn't happen that way. What worked for you last week, last month, last 3 months may not be working for you again today. Maybe because the new set of people you are approaching, the new set of people you are meeting, they could be entirely different set of persons. It's only review that gets you to a point where you can logically say, this is not working for me. Then you can go for logical answer to those questions. Review will save you a life of frustration and struggle, a life of stagnation. Review is very important. Many a times we don't have the confidence and the courage to have reviews because we are not ready for change. A man that reviews regularly is a man that is ready for change. Is a man that has change as a mentality. I'm ready to tweak. I'm ready to fine-tune. I'm ready to touch. I'm ready to look at what I'm doing from a different perspective so that I can get a better result. Review, review, and review. You can never be very successful without review. I have always said it in my trainings. I said, a life that is not being evaluated is not worth living. The reason, many of you, you don't value your life. Why I say you don't value your life is because you don't evaluate your life. You think when you advance in age, you also progress as you advance in age. It's a blatant lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. It's not true. You can get older, and as you're getting older, you're getting more foolish. As you're getting older, you're getting more stupid. As you're getting older, you are getting more lazy. As you're getting older, you may be getting more or less unproductive. Advancement in age doesn't mean advancement in knowledge and in wisdom. It doesn't. It doesn't mean advancement and growth in productivity. It doesn't mean so. If you think so, for me, that's a lie from the pit of hell. It's not true. Time doesn't grow you. Time doesn't make things better. Time doesn't make things to grow for you. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Time makes things appear even worse than it used to be. Do you know why? Life on its own. Now listen to me. Nothing has happened to time. There's nothing that happened to 24 hours of Monday last week. There's nothing that happened to 24 hours of Tuesday last week. Nothing happened to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nothing happened to those days. Nothing. There's nothing spectacular about it. Do you know what matters most? What you do in time. The results you have in your life today, in your business, in your family, in your career, in your relationships, listen to me, is as a result of what you've done with your time. When you invest your time wisely, you get great results. But you can't have wise investment of time without proper review. So I always tell people, a life not being evaluated is not worth living. I will keep saying this over and over again because my life took a drastic turn when I started doing it. It will make you to become more responsible of what is working and what is not working for you. It will save you a lot of hardship in the future. It will save you a lot of loss and wastage in the future. Wastage of time, wastage of resources, wastage of people around you. I'm telling you, it will really save you quite a lot. A lot. When you don't review your life, you will keep cycle of failure. Let me share an experience that I had years ago. There were this set of people working with me years ago. They're not really quite very long. That was in 2016 because I traveled with people for trainings and for conferences and things. And this set of persons have worked with me for some time. And a time came, what I was doing with them wasn't working anymore. Now, I sat down and I had a serious talk or review with them. And then we provide solution on what's going to work. Let me tell you, just only a fraction of them took it up. That fraction that took it up today, their life is made. The rest that didn't take it up, they are still where they are. Listen to me. You don't have any reason to blame God or to blame anything in your life if you're not ready to review your life for yourself. The first place or the first stage of taking responsibility is to sit down and do what I call a reality talk with yourself. Do I want to do this? Do I truly want to make this work? In our mind, psychically, you may think you want to make things work. You think you may want to make your business work. You may think you want to make one aspect of your life. It's not true. It's not true. If you don't get your butt to sit down and then think what is working, what is not working, evaluating it, trust me, I'm sorry, you're not going to grow or prosper in that area of your life. Listen to me, my good people. Review can never be overemphasized. The more frequent you review any aspect of your life or your business, the more conscious you become about developing that area. I learned from one of the greatest salesmen. For me, he's one of the greatest in the modern era, Grant Cardone. He's one of the men that I've spent quite hundreds of thousands buying his materials on sales, on marketing, and quite a lot. Closing, I've done quite a lot of study on him. There is something he said. He said there is an aspect of his business where he gets reports on it every 15 minutes. He said he gets reports on that aspect of his business. He said it's a very, very important aspect. It's very, very important measure. Tool he used in, metric he uses in measuring whether his business is growing or not growing. For example, in our business, a very good tool you can use in measuring the how healthy your business has been is follow-up list. Some of you think it is shopping list. People that have registered. Some of you think it's how many persons you've invited. No, how many persons you invite doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, yes, it makes sense in quote, but what shows you are doing proper invitation is how many persons that attended, how many persons that watched the video. No, if no attendance, no video, you are doing nonsense. Whatever you are doing is arrant nonsense. You are my family. I won't lie to you. You must learn to differentiate activity and productivity. Don't let anybody deceive you. This is the reason why a lot of you are going to stay here. After some time, you give up. God forbid it happens to any of you. But I always tell people, if you think you can't give up in life, if you think you can't give up in businesses, if you think you can't give up in things, you are really, really joking. You are joking. You can give up. There's nobody that cannot give up. When you don't review your life, when you don't review things you are doing, you will give up in those areas. Review can never be overemphasized. You will give up. You think you can keep up with not being productive for a long time. Over a period of time, your heart will grow sick. The reason why I'm talking this way is because we're actually now in the era, in the time of the year when a lot of people, reality starts getting done on us. Reality looks us in the face and tells us, hey, come on, how far have you gone? Look at me here. This is how little you've achieved. And it puts up many of us in a place where we start taking drastic actions and drastic decisions. No. That's not a time to start taking, being erratic with your decisions. That's a time to really sit back. So I'm teaching you right now on your own. Sit back. Don't wait for life to make you to sit back. Some of you, by the time you get to December, you see your mates coming back with cars and coming back with similar achievements. And that's the time you start feeling horrible. I think I need to change the things I am doing. I think I need to do this one. I think the business is no longer working for me. There was a time that for me, I started questioning my ability to become an entrepreneur. I started thinking about taking up a lecturing job. At the time, I even applied for a visa to travel abroad. But you know what? That was just an escape route to a lie, to a reckless life. You cannot escape a reckless life. If you like being in America, if you like being in Canada, some of you are outside Nigeria here. If you like being in Europe, if you like being in Nigeria, if you like being in Abuja or Lagos, a reckless life will follow you wherever you are going. You can never cheat your heart. Success emanates from the heart. It emanates from your personality. And developing your personality is something that you have to take full responsibility. Many of us, we are too careless with it. And reviewing our lives and reviewing what is working and what is not working is one way to develop your personality. It does a time to strengthen yourself on your strengths, and then to strengthen yourself also on your weaknesses. Hello, am I speaking to someone this morning? Let me see you wave your hand. Let me see you wave your hand. I'm sorry, sometimes I don't sound motivating. This is not a motivating talk. This is a reality talk. The world out there is full of psychopaths. The world out there is full of people that doesn't know what they are doing in life. The world out there is full of people I would call walking dead men. A man that has no visions, a man that has no goals, a man that has no burning dreams in their heart is a dead man. Do you know why I call him a dead man? A dead man is a man that anything goes for him. There are so many walking dead men out there. So many. You get out there in the world, everybody is working hard. Everybody's asking what you're working hard for. They have no single goal. They have no single vision they are living for. Do you know what? There's one passage in the scripture that has helped me a lot. I don't know where it is, but I think it is in Habakkuk or something. I don't know. Where there is no vision, people cast off what? Restraint.
Proverbs.
It's not Proverbs.
Proverbs.
Is it Proverbs? Is it Proverbs? Or where there is no revelation, my people perish or something. Which one? Is it Proverbs? Where there is no vision, people cast off restraint. Okay, I think it's Proverbs. Which one is in Habakkuk? There's one that is in Habakkuk.
No, Habakkuk is right vision.
Make it plain. Okay, now listen to me. Do you know what is called a restraint? Vision is what creates boundaries for you. A lot of people don't have boundaries. Vision is what tells you what to do and what not to do. Vision is what dictates the direction of your life. And you know what? Vision is what helps you to shape in you. It keeps you straight. It keeps shaping. It keeps correcting you. It keeps telling you this is good. What is good for Mr. A may not be good for Mr. B. Vision is what does that for you. I've lived quite a very short life to know. Out of the people I've encountered, I was having a training one time with a group of people. I was so shocked here in Plateau State. That was in 2019. I was so shocked. Out of over 40 persons I was actually teaching, I'm trying to be as exact as possible. Over 34 to 36 of them, they are within that range. They don't know what their life they want to. If you ask them, what picture do you want to have? What mental picture do you see of your life becoming? What do you see yourself becoming in the next 5 years, next 10 years? They don't have. Telling me you want to be successful even enough is a man that has a strong vision that reviews his processes. Because it's not about the destination. The destination is never the destination, because when you achieve level 2, you're not yet dead. You start going for level 4. So the most important thing is the process. I love the way John C. Maxwell puts it. He says, many of us underestimate what happens in the process and overestimate what happens in an event. I will say it again. Many of us underestimate what happens in the process and then overestimate what happens in the event. All of us here, we are waiting for that big one change in our life. Is not going to be coming. All of us are waiting for that one breakthrough in our life. Is not going to be coming. Success is a culmination of positive things, positive attitudes, characters, values that you have built and deposited in your life over time. That's what leads to success ultimately. Trust me, one of the greatest things I have done in my life is to, one of the things that have happened to me in my life is to have two men. They are late now. One died at the age of 78. The other died at the age of, I think, 69 or something. One of the things I have learned so well from them, I've never, the only place I learn it is when I visit the house of the dead. When I visit a place where where someone died, that's where I learn something like that again. Do you know what it is? Regret. Trust me. One of the worst things to do in your life is to be here in RDI, and by the time you get old, you regret your life. Do you know why? You will remember that you had great opportunity to put to work, to put to practice things you are learning, but you chose not to. One of the worst things that can happen to a man is to live a life of regret. By the time you get old, you are regretting you didn't give your family the best time you want to give them. You're regretting because you had an opportunity that could change your life and change your family, but you took it carelessly. You're going to regret the options that you made and decisions you've made. Regret is one thing you don't want to have in your life. And one of the things that makes people live a life of regret is because they fail to take responsibility to change their lives. Review, review, review. It takes being a disciplined man to review. It takes being a man of vision to review. It takes being a man that is responsible to review. I've seen a lot of people give up in life and give up in businesses because they felt that, oh, and Mr. Noso, I cannot talk. Mr. Noso, I cannot do this. What limitation have you placed in your life? What limitation have you placed in every area of your life? Things you could do. Who told you things you could do and things you couldn't do? Your life result is as a result of the habits and the character and the personality that you become. I love the way Joe Dispenza puts it. A lot of people want a new personal reality with the same personality. That is something that will never happen. I will say it again. Most people want a new reality in life, maintaining the same personality. It will never happen. If you want to have a new reality in life, you must have to adopt a new personality. And that is the hardest thing to do in your life. That's the hardest thing to do in your life. You don't need to hear. You don't want to hear the level of sacrifices that I have to make for me to be able to have a new personality. And I keep making those sacrifices, and I'm ready to make even much more sacrifices in the future. I'm telling you. Sacrifices that I will have to make for me to have a new personality. Success is about building up the right habits, and those right habits replacing the old habits. One of the things that I've seen, I don't know, I've never read it in a book, but I was doing research recently. I was actually doing a research recently. That was in the month of August. Actually, it should be that first month or second month of August. I really committed myself to doing some research about habits and things. Some things I teach us are the things I've researched on months ago. And listen to me. How many of you here want a golden rule? A golden rule. You have bad habits in your life. Things you are not consistent with prospecting. You are not consistent with follow-up. You are not focused. You always see yourself up and down all the time. How many of you here wants to learn, have the golden rule on dealing with bad habits? Let me see where you are. You want to have it? You want to have a golden rule? Let me see where you are. I've never read it in a book, but everything I've studied about it. Let me see where you are. Why are you not raising your hand? You are pressing your phone. Don't press for what I'm teaching. Yeah, don't be checking. You are distracting me. Don't be pressing your phone when I'm teaching. Why not raising your hand? Why not raising your hand? Okay, all of you raise. Okay. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The golden rule is this: life abhors vacancy. I will explain. Life abhors vacancy. There is nothing like vacancy in life. Never. Even an empty bottle, you call an empty bottle, is being occupied by air. You can't see the air, but it's inside. Where am I heading to? A bad habit can never be stopped by just a mere decision to stop it. It can never happen. I will show you places in the Bible where I can explain it. I have an explanation to that. We read about being born again, giving your life to God. You think by just saying, God, come into me, Jesus, come into my life, I want to be my personal Lord and Savior, everything wouldn't change automatically in you. Your nature changes, but your personality to change is your responsibility. That is why, I don't know where it is, but there's a place in the Bible that talks about, do not be conformed to the world, but be renewed, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing is a present continuous term. It means it is something you do, you keep doing, you keep doing. True transformation comes through renewing of your mind. What does it mean to renew? You renew your mind with the right information, with the right habit. You cannot stop a bad habit by mere decision to stop a bad habit. You stop a habit by what? Renewing your mind and doing the habits you want. You can, for a bad habit to go, it has to be replaced by a good habit. Someone says, I'll give a habit. Someone says, I want to stop drinking and smoking. You must find something else to do when you normally go to drink and smoke. If you don't find something else to do within that time, continuously, you will go back to drinking and smoking. Take it or leave it. I've read many books about developing a new personality, developing a new habit. This is one thing, the underlying principle I've always seen. Life abhors vacancy. Every bad habit you have, you want to let it go, there must be a good habit you have to. That is where work comes in. That is where dedication comes in. You have to consistently build it up. Woo! This is hard. These are hard. Engineers, why are you talking this way this morning? Sometimes I wake up from a different hand. But I always do that many a time. For those of you that have been in Success Additos on Monday morning. So you will notice on Monday morning, I focus more on talking to our personality. I focus more on talking to our who we are. I focus less on, on the technicalities of our business and whatever. Yes. I have people working with me, they are here. I'm going to have a discussion with them after now, and I'm going to use what I'm teaching here to question all of them. Monday morning is always a different day for me. How many of you are learning something now? You are learning something. So what is that golden rule? What is that? As in, I want you to apply this in your life and use it to help a lot of people out there. People want to change from stuffs. They want to change from bad habits. You can't change a bad habit by saying, I resolve to change a bad habit. It can never happen. You will go back to your vomit. Many of you here, you think a habit is something that you can just change overnight. You are joking. A habit is something so stronger than you can imagine. Before something can become a habit, it means you must have gotten to the level of what we call unconscious competence. Unconscious competence. That's what we mean. We have different levels of competency, or the rate at which you do things. We have what we call conscious competence, and we have what we call unconscious competence. And there's another one we could call it, have again, conscious incompetence. And then we have unconscious incompetence. A professional footballer, if the ball is coming, the guy is not looking at the ball. His mind has already calculated. He's already heading where the ball is going. You see him, you put his leg, the guy is already, it has gone into his subconscious. He doesn't need to think about everything, becomes like a reflex. When you don't have something you are consciously built on, you will go back to your reflexes. You will go back to it. Your habit is stronger than you can imagine. Your habit is what determines whether you'll be successful or not. The fundamentals of success starts with habits. If you like, decide today to change or not to change. Look at your habits. When you want to change your personality, it starts from your habit. And the root of habit is what? What you know and what you are doing. You want to change your habits? 2 things you need to do. Change what you know. You need to renew your mind, and then discipline yourself to start acting on a new habit. Building and working on a new good habit is the only way to replace a bad habit. I can't be focused. Start becoming focused. Start working on being focused. I will apply it in a principle that I learned from one of my spiritual father, my pastor. And there was one training we were having one day about prayer. And he said, a lot of people have been saying, how do I pray? The easiest way to pray. He said, God, come and baptize me in the spirit of prayer. He said, how many of you here don't feel like praying now? All of us raised our hands. I don't feel like praying now. He now said, you know what? All of you, stand up right now. Close your eyes. Open your mouth. Start speaking in tongues. Start praying about this. Say, I want to say you pray about this now. He will say, you, come and lead in this prayer now. He will start reading. He now told her, he said, can you see that even though you didn't feel like praying, but when you opened your mouth to pray, your mouth didn't close to pray. He now taught us and said, the fundamental, the basics of learning to pray is to pray. You don't learn to pray by reading how to pray. You learn to pray by praying. You learn to pray aright by studying how to pray aright. When you finish studying how to pray aright, if you don't pray, you won't learn how to pray. Because you go church past me now, what I said, is it true or not? Is it true or not? It's true. Someone says, I don't know how to exercise. If you cannot exercise, let me tell you how to do it. You have to start learning. If you want to learn how to exercise, you learn how to exercise by exercising. Many of us are looking for shortcuts in life. Stop looking for shortcuts. Let me share with us again, and I'm just reminding myself of so many things that happened to me during the week. I was having a chat with a brother of mine. Okay, I think you were aware. Last week, a friend of a brother of mine, and he woke up one morning and told me I would delete WhatsApp from my phone. I shouted. I say, bros, this is somebody I know that WhatsApp is the core of his business. Just like waking up in the morning say you will delete WhatsApp or you delete WhatsApp. Say the truth, is it possible? In the business we are doing, although not possible. I get what I'm saying. It's not possible. How many of you know WhatsApp, Telegram, the tools you are using to just someone said, me, I won't use a smartphone again. Hello? Raise your hand. It's impossible. You cannot. Some people tell me, no, I cannot use a smartphone again. It is distracting me. It is distracting me. Listen to me. Someone says, I don't want to go to the internet again. The internet is distracting me. Do you know what they are doing? When you see such people, they are people that don't want to pay the price of developing and building a new habit. I asked him, I just told myself, I know what is distracting you most. You go to status too much. It's only in status people will never be chatting you with nonsense many a times. It's in status they post it. And guess what happens? It is fools that are being distracted by those nonsense. I say, bros, discipline yourself to stop going to status. It happened to me in YouTube. Many of you know, I love YouTube more than you can imagine. I had to discipline myself. I go to YouTube, search for video I watch it, and I get out of there. I only sit down and watch boxing on YouTube when I'm in my leisure time. You are looking for a shortcut. You want to delete WhatsApp from your phone. You will download another thing again. You will start chatting in Facebook. I've seen someone that stopped using Facebook. From Facebook, he now entered WhatsApp. If not, from the WhatsApp, he went back to Facebook. You can never cut off a bad habit by just cutting things off. No, and there are structures you need to put in place. Yes. Then you cannot tell yourself, this tool called WhatsApp, I use it for business and I use it for building relationships. It doesn't say, I get me. No, we have to be very real. We need to connect with friends. We need to connect with family, but be intentional with it. Going on people's status and doing nonsense there and commenting on something there takes more than 90% of the time we use on WhatsApp. and that is stupidity, because you're commenting on nonsense. Anyone that wants you to comment on something nice, personal communication, what does the person do? He sends you a private message. I don't say you don't do such things once in a while, but when it becomes a routine, when it becomes a habit, then it becomes destructive. So I use my brother as an example. At least, thank God, I think I told you about it as an example. So you wouldn't look as if I made it up. I was just laughing. I said, look at this man. You want to cut off WhatsApp. Someone said, me, I don't want to have friends again. You are very stupid. You will have friends. The right word is this: I will make sure I have friends that are moving in the same direction with my vision. I will make sure I build new friends based on purpose. That's the right thing to do. There was a time it happened. I said, me, I will not have friends again. I lived a very dry life. Very, very dry. Me, family, I cannot tell my family things again. No. There is a place for family. My family doesn't interfere with my vision and with my goals and whatever. No. Like I've told us about my dad. No, I can't hate my dad, but I have to put a boundary what my dad says to me about my business or not. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know the background where it's coming from. So we need to have a wonderful relationship. So we don't need to quarrel about my business or to cry over my business, because I get what I'm saying. Because I've already put that lead there. Cutting off things like that are the careless. You will go back to it. The right thing to do is to build a new habit. So today's training is just focused on looking at reviewing our life's progress is one of the habits that when you develop it, trust me, you won't be in a pit for a long time. You won't repeat cycle of failures. Many of you have repeated cycle of failures from beginning to the end, from January to December. Let me give us one example. One of the things I'm learning to do as a person, personally, is to learn to keep money and be looking at the money and not be too stupid to go and waste the money. There are people that when money enters their hand, do you know the only thing that's coming to their head? I beg, I want that money to go. I beg, I will spend the money. Hey, I will spend the money. If you have such habits, let me tell you, that is not a good one. Say, no, I don't want to hold some money. I don't want to hold this money. I will spend the money. I will spend the money. Hey, hello. Say me, I have tendency to touch the money that is not my own. Hello. You know what you are saying? You cannot be a business partner with someone. You cannot run partnership. Instead, wherever you are having a bad habit, if you can sit down and identify those habits, that is the first step to changing. You just have to be very real with it, because if you are not real with what is not working for you, you cannot change. Reviewing our lives is one particular threat that can change your life completely. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Reviewing the things you are doing, your results, your activities will increase you tremendously. I spent this time. I have things to teach you. You know me now. But I spent this time to show you how important it is to me. Review the teachings that your leaders give you. I was talking to my Rising Star mentors. I said, I don't want this year to end without having you people running personal presentations in your homes. Meaning at least home meetings, home business meetings should be held at least 2 times in a month. Can you review it? Let me tell you one thing about bad habits. Bad habits are very, very easy to learn and master. Oversleeping, not studying, not working on your income generating activity. They are very, very, very easy to master. Now, let me tell you the opposite. Building a habit, a good habit, is very difficult. I love the way John C. Marshall says, he said, journey to a great life is always an uphill journey. It's an uphill. And climbing a hill is not climbing a hill or a mountain is not sweet. Many of us, I started working on, I was telling Mama is it Mama? No, it was Dr. Robiton, yeah, on Friday, on Saturday, Rising Star Mentors Training. I was telling her of the new things I am doing as regards to my health. That I started dieting now. I noticed I started slimming, as in I started slimming so well, so much. It's no longer about even cutting down my blood sugar level. I'm no longer exercising as I used to. I had to really work on a lot of things. And I was sharing with her how it was so beautiful. Let me give us an example. I could do on my own before 100 press-ups all at once. I could do sit-up 50, 60, 100 all at once. I can do some crazy things. Some of you, if you ever see my picture, maybe in 2018, early 2018, you'll be wondering whether I'm the same man. My shoulders are very big. I was really very, very huge and things. Now, guess what? Losing those things was so easy. What I mean losing things, destroying things, so easy. Building things back is so difficult. But do you know what happened? Whenever I remember the process it took me to do 100 push-ups at once, there's no hunger in me to go and do it. So I had to dig deeper and study again. So I started following one man like that. He said, no. Just do 10. He told me, I will do 10 push-ups. He will say, do 10 push-ups and rest for 2 minutes. Just follow the instructions. I do 10, I wait for 2 minutes. Do another 10 push-ups, wait for 2 minutes. Do another 10 again, wait for 2 minutes. I did it for 3 days. Before you know what's happening, I started doing 20, wait for 2 minutes. 30, wait for 2 minutes. Now 40, waiting for 2 minutes. In less than 1 week. That is how powerful it is. But you just have to be willing to take that first step, which will still be very difficult for you. Changing that bad habit requires you, first of all, acknowledging that this is a bad habit. And number 2, ask yourself, what new habits do I need to develop that will replace this bad habit? Something else will have to take the time. The time you use in chatting, the time you use in spending on social media, something else must replace it. If something does not replace it, you go back. Ross, what I'm saying is not true. Ray, what I'm saying is not true. That's the truth. I'll give a perfect example. I have people working with me. If I have worked for them and be on them, they don't tend to while away their time. When there's no much task, what happens? So many things will start happening. You will start watching, Ross, you will start listening to training you're not supposed to listen to. You will start playing some, you cannot be playing that kind of your preaching. You normally play loud when you have phone calls and follow-ups to make. 2 of us. Would you be watching YouTube or status when you're making phone calls at the same time? Or phone call? Is it possible? It's not possible now because you have something else you are doing. That is life for you. Something else must take that time. So you have to consciously tell yourself, you know what? Watching watching status all the time is killing me. I'm not learning new things. What need to now? What are things I need to do that will develop me? Do you know what you need to do? You can now decide to be watching what? Training tapes. That same time using watching that status. Training tape is very difficult to do, especially when you carry pen and paper and they are now jotting. Because let me tell you, if you are listening to a training tape and there is no pen and jotter, as in pen and your book there, where you are consciously listening, and how you will know you are serious is this. You will never hear everything that the man says all at once. Like. So you will always be put to a place where you go back. That's how you will know whether you are really listening to a training. You will always go back. If a training is 30 minutes, if you truly listen to that training, it will take you 2 hours to finish it. Because you have pen and paper, something, your mind will be, I want to get something that will push me to the next level. Your heart is let me see this I'm saying now. You know, go easy. You know, go, the thing, know the sweet. You have to get a book. I told us the other day, is it you or you? I said, a time came. Do you know I'm teaching you people, but there was a time this year, 4 months, I could not vouch and say this is one solid book I finished in 4 months. Your leader is the one talking to you. I'm telling you, it do happen to me. I can say it on Zoom too. 4 months. I can't say this is one business book that I read. They go engineer also. Look at my library. Look at my library. Please, if you not see, this is just as in the small part of, if some of you, at least you've seen me in my home, you say how big my book, I have cartons, that one is too small. You saw my library in my house, you see the way I stack the books. If I line up the book, it cannot enter, so I have to stack them. If you see me in library where they stack books, I have to stack them up like this, so they can enter my library. And there are books that are there, hundreds that I have not read. They are there looking at me. So also many of you have training tapes, you have books you've not read. It will take you a great discipline. That is what you can use to replace a bad habit. You can't replace a bad habit by stopping the bad habit, deciding to stop the bad habit. You cannot. You must replace that bad habit with a good habit. There's nothing wrong with habits. Is it adding to you or is it subtracting from you? You use the money, you use the data you're supposed to use in building your business. My colleague was complaining to me how her data. I said, why are you not finish when you watch TikTok? It's as simple as that now. No, reverse engineer it. What does TikTok add to you? Tell me. What does watching YouTube add to you? These are the things that you just have to answer. You can never replace a bad habit by deciding to replace, by just what? Deciding to stop the bad habit. It will never. Every true and lasting change starts with renewing your mind. Every true and lasting transformation starts with what? Renewing your mind. And renewing your mind, there are two aspects to it. There are two steps to it. There are two things to it, or two stages to it. You renew your mind by what you expose yourself to and by what you do. What you do gives you an assurance. Are you hearing me? When you learn and you don't do, you don't practice, you don't consolidate on what you've learned. The reason why I can confidently talk to you on my own, you see, did I have any slide here to talk to you? Did I have any slide? Some presenters, some inspirational speakers or transformational speakers, they need slide. No, those ones are very, very nice. They are nice, especially when you want to become extremely professional. But the reason why I don't shake whenever I'm talking to you is that I don't just learn. I have a deep conviction. I don't just read things up. I have deep conviction. I practice things. I want you to learn these two things, apply it in your life. Your life will truly change. I want to see people here that will give me testimony in 2 weeks' time, in 3 months' time, telling me, Engineer Nonso, I started reviewing my life regularly, and I started sitting down to identify my bad habits, and I wrote down the good habits. Write down for every bad habit you have, sit down, ask questions, find out the good habits that will replace them. Anywhere in your life you're not proud of, and there is no good habit to replace, you are joking. Let me give you another perfect example. Someone says, I give my life to Christ. I turn from my bad ways. You know what that means? Your friends will have to go. But do you know what? Take it or leave it. Letting go of bad friends is useless. You will go back to them. It happened to me. I have some crazy people in my life. When I mean crazy, I want to be very real. Crazy. Really, really crazy people in my life. In fact, an occasion, something happened when a man like the one guy, Mr. Kayode, from Ondo Akure, and he came to my church and he was saying something, and then he said, this guy is my friend. Immediately he said, as he was talking about, he said, no, so is my good friend. Immediately he said that, people turned to him and said, then guy, you must have something within you. You must have something. A time came to me when I decided in my life, if a useless person, you have nothing to do with my life. If we have been friends, we are not enemies. That's true. When my father turned from his bad ways, he was telling me at a very young age, he told me that his people, his friends, he used to belong to a sports club, and they were there mocking his faith and mocking his new life. My father can drink 2 cartons of beer and finish it. He's very, he will tell us. He can finish it as in he can drink, as in they know him very well. One of the things he has to do is to cut off the sports club, because they know once they finish playing that badminton in that sports club, they will go and drink. Do you know what they said? They said, leave that thing. Like say, wife don't carry and go one church like that where they don't go to him. They will give him 2 weeks. He will come back to Unku. Unku means drink. He will come back to not your seal, not your he will come back. Let me tell you the secret to building the right relationships. It's not by denouncing your old relationships. Trust me, when you commit yourself to building, cultivating good and quality relationships, it will surely replace the old. It will stifle the old. By default, some people will tell you are doing too much. How many of us have done it before? I think you tell me sometimes now of your friends, but it was striking it. My own, my nickname when I was in school was they now gave to me as a young kid. Then they were telling me that they said my new name is I'm in the church. I'm in the church. That was my hideout. I will go there and be reading and be studying on my own. That's nothing more, nothing less, because they will give me the key. I'm not praying there. I will tell you the truth. Because I decided to turn a new leaf. Someone decides to change from being a cultist. If you don't make friends, you will go back to your cultism. If you don't make quality friends with people in the church, you will go back to cultism. You cannot stop having bad friends by just saying, I want to stop having bad friends. Who are your new friends? What is the characteristics of your new friends? You must say it. So learn those two things today. Reviewing your life will save you a lot of stress, trouble in your life. It will keep you up from having a cycle of failures. Trust me, some of you, your cycle is every 2 years. You come back to where you started from. Some of you is every 6 months. Some of you is every 5 years. You look yourself 5 years ago, every 5 years, you're going back to square one. Every time, it was happening to me before. Every time going back to square one. I will go up like this financially and I will go down. Every December, I'll be crying no money. Every December. Cycle. You have to review what is working and what is not working. Now, the second part of what I just taught you today is what habits. What did I teach you about habits? Habits are the basics. They are like the what I put it again? Is it the atomic level of success? You hear what I'm saying? We talk about the neutrons, the protons, and then the electrons. These are the fundamentals of success, habits. Habit. And what I taught you about habit is this: you don't stop a habit. You don't stop things by just saying, I want to stop them. You don't stop things by avoiding them. You cannot. You must find the right habit to replace. That is where taking responsibility comes in. You cannot stop a habit by just deciding. You need information and action to stop a bad habit. I want us to, you know, the reason why I don't want to talk about our business so much is because some of you think that success is just about the scale. It's about your personality. It's about your heart. A great heart will produce great results. It's about your personality. When your heart is impure, your result will not be great. When you are lying to yourself in your heart, you will never have a great result in life. Out of the abundance of the heart. The Bible talks about saying something. They say out of the heart. Out of the heart. Comes the issues of life. Am I correct?
Yes,
Out of the heart comes out the issues of life. Do you know what is issues? Issue has to do with proceeds, the results. The results you will have emanates from your heart. Well, your heart means your personality. Your personality. What's your personality? Are you proud of who you are today? If you're not, start sharpening yourself. Thank you so much for being with me today in the Millionaire School. I'm aware there are 2 people I'm supposed to induct. Okay, except if there are new persons, except if there are more persons from the Alpha Lion team. I won't take much time to induct them. I know today is quite a very important, today is going to be, everybody's quiet today. I know. How many of you are feeling solemn? Today is a solemn, like a solemn assembly. How many of you are feeling, there's a kind of program you go to in church. If they ask you how was the church service, you say it was nice. It was nice. It was nice. How many of you have gone to church service before? Maybe you go to church the day your pastor will preach about rapture. You know, go chop food that day. Your prayer level will go to a whole new level. Well, when they teach you about the great tribulation, people that miss rapture, what will happen to them? In fact, you will go to your room and say, Father, I repent of all my sins. Come into my life again. And now, can you just kill me so that I can just be with you in heaven? How many of you have prayed that kind of prayer? I prayed that kind of prayer. In fact, when I was small, I prayed that kind of prayer like 4 or 5 times in a week, because the church I used to attend, there's nothing they are preaching to us more than rapture. If you attend church in 1 month and you don't hear about rapture 10 times, you didn't attend church. And for me, I will tell you, it really helped me a lot. Yes. So today, I know today is like a solemn assembly. How many of you believe that today is like a solemn assembly? Let me see with your hand. Hi. How many of you we are greatly touched today? In fact, let's take some reviews. Let me see where you are. People that are, if you are confident enough, if you are bold enough to be, I don't want someone to tell me, hey, I'm really learned a lot. No. If you are bold enough to tell us the habits and the area of your life that today's teaching touched, don't tell me it touched your life. We know it touched your life. If you are bold enough to tell us the area that it touched, the area that you touched, it touched. If you are bold enough, let me see you raise your hand to tell us. If you are bold enough. Okay, I can see Mr. Aziz Biodun. Go ahead and unmute yourself. If you are bold enough. Tell us the area that this teaching touched so much. Thank you, sir. Increase your volume, sir, so we can hear you. Increase your volume, sir. Your volume is low. Increase your speaker volume. Oh, we can't seem to hear you. Your volume is still very low. We can't hear you at all. Check the volume of maybe the speaker you are using or the phone you are using or laptop or whatever. Check the volume. Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, I can hear some sound.
It teaches me about the social media.
Which part of social media? Which social media?
About the status.
WhatsApp status.
Yes, yes. And Facebook.
And Facebook. How many
Yes,
hours,
sir.
how many hours does this take from you in a day?
I can't say precisely.
No.
Unless if I'm not driving.
Hey, Jesus. And that is typical of most people. Once they are not doing anything, they are on their status.
Yes.
I want you, many of you, there is something, if you don't have the app, download the app. What helps you to know the screen time spent? When your phone tells you you have 9 hours screen time, it's very true. It's very easy. Ask yourself, how many hours did you spend doing something else except from the status? Many people spend, I've seen people that spend 7 hours, 8 hours on status every day. Status sometimes steals sleep from people. They will not sleep at night. They will do status. They will wake up in the morning and be acting as someone that is sick. Status took away their life. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your openness. I need someone else again. If you are bold enough to tell us the area of your life that this training touched, review habits, replacing good habits with bad habits. Maybe you have a bad habit. You are bold enough to tell us that you've decided you're going to stop and you saw yourself go back to that habit. But through today's training, you've seen clearly how to stop bad habits. Okay, I could see here Dr. Osasuna. Sir, Daddy, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Good morning, leaders.
Yes, Daddy.
I don't know whether
reduce your music. There's a music playing. It has stopped.
Good morning, leaders.
Good morning, Daddy.
The habit I developed actually started when I retired into the lockdown, the COVID-19 lockdown. I had nothing doing. I would just sleep and sleep, eat, sleep. And after the lockdown, sleeping now became something different to me. Continue to sleep and sleep and sleep. I became lazy. I couldn't even read well.
Wow.
So thank God that I gained something this morning, that it may not even start with reading hot books. Why not start with books you enjoy first?
Exactly.
Then start from known to unknown.
Yes.
Again, through this morning, today's lecture.
Wow.
I enjoyed. Then I also gained the fact that you can't be good if you don't practice a particular skill. I actually sent it to you personally that skill becomes a practice ability. One can only be good in it if you keep practicing it. And a very good practice could make nice perfection. Very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Daddy. Thank you so much, Daddy. All right. Thank you so much, each and every one of you that made it to today's business meeting. Do I have Mr. Ojo Oluwatayo? Yeah, Mr. Ojo. Mr. Ojo, if you are here. Yes, I can see Mr. Oluwatosin Ojo E. Please, can you unmute yourself, sir? Mr. Ojo Oluwatosin. Good morning, sir. How are you, sir? Oh, you are the one. Oh, you've been on video. You are the one. Yes, exactly. You are the one. I hope you enjoyed today's Millionaire School.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, sir, Mr. Ojo. Today is your induction day. I want to ask you a simple question. You are meant to answer one question correctly. What you have started with us, is it a business or an investment?
Business.
It's a business. Why do you say it's a business? Just a
A
quick one.
business. Because it's something I need to work on, to develop, to make grow, and to really make a life with it.
Exactly. It requires you to do what? To work on it, to make it grow, and then to make it become successful. That's what made it a business. You answered the question correctly. Thank you so much, Mr. Ojo, being with us here in our Millionaire School. Now, Millionaire School runs from Monday to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Make sure you're always here with your Millionaire School notebooks. You have to buy a thick cover notebook, not just an ordinary note, a thick cover notebook. We're going to tell you what to do with that notebook tomorrow morning, but I'm going to also instruct your leaders, direct leaders, that will contact you, and then make sure you are put on the right path. So make sure you don't miss the Millionaire School. And all of you here being inducted today, make sure you don't miss your Millionaire School. It is something that if you miss, it means you're not serious building your business. All right. If you are here, Mr. Akindele Michael, if you are here, Mr. Akindele Michael, please, Mr. Akindele Michael, okay, he's not here. All right. Mr. Akindele Michael is the second inductee. Now, the third inductee is Mr. Samson. Mr. Samson Ashaka. I can't see to see Mr. Samson Ashaka. If you are Mr. Samson Ashaka, kindly wave your hand. Maybe you're connected with a different name, but I'm searching through your names here. I can't see Mr. Samson Ashaka. Please, the leaders of these people, Mr. Akindele Michael and Samson Ashaka. I think I know about Akindele Michael. Yeah, I think I know about him. Okay. Okay, no. What is this? Okay. Oh, okay. This is from Alpha Lion team. Please, those of us in Alpha Lion team, this was submitted by Madam Blessing. I want you to get to Mr. Akindele Samson. Make sure you get to Ashaka Samson. Sorry, Ashaka Samson and Akindele Michael. Make sure you get to them and find out their whereabouts, and make sure they are well inducted on Wednesday. Our next induction day is on Wednesday. Now, the next person to be inducted is Mrs. Taiwo Oladejo. Okay, Miss Taiwo is the sister to Mama Keyinde at Canada. I think, yeah, it's true. She can be here. All right. But if she's here, that would be nice. Let me search. She's not here. Now, the next person to be inducted is Mrs. Dorcas. Mrs. Dorcas. Okay, Mrs. Dorcas is here. Mrs. Dorcas Olayuola. Oh, Mrs. Dorcas, I could see you. You've been on video for a long time. You are really enjoying the meeting. Go ahead and unmute yourself, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. I hope you enjoyed the Millionaire School today.
Very, very, sir.
Wow, wow. All right, so your question goes this way. What's your expectation management? Basically, we have a responsibility to you, and you have a responsibility to your success. So I'm going to start this way. Who is the person that determines the success of your business? Is it the RDI or you, what you do? Who determines the success of your business and failure of your business?
What I do.
So what's your responsibility and what's our responsibility to you?
My responsibility is to believe. I must have the belief that success is sure. I must be focused and do all the necessary activities on daily basis to get better results.
So what is our responsibility to you?
Your responsibility to me is to guide me, like one of the training that I've been getting. Last week I got some, now I'm in one. So it's the responsibility of the RDI.
All right,
to
so
train me.
Now you got it correctly. Your responsibility is to do what we are teaching you. Our responsibility is to teach you, guide you, give you the system. Your responsibility is to work the system and let it produce results for you. Thank you so much, Mama Dorcas, for being with us in the Millionaire School. Make sure you continue being with us Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's every day. Now, the next person to be inducted, the next inductee is Mrs. Josephine Nwa. If you are here, Mrs. Josephine, kindly unmute yourself. Okay. Okay. Here, Mrs. Josephine is not here. The leader of Mrs. Josephine, the leaders of Mrs. Josephine, make sure you get to her. All right. The next person to be inducted is Duru. Duru. I can't seem to find Duru here. Duru Ahamefule. So let me search for Ahamefule. I can see Ahamefule here. So please, Madam Blessing Ochanya, make sure you get to Mr. Michael Akindele, Ashaka Samson, Mrs. Josephine Unwa, and then Ahamefule Duru. It's your responsibility to make sure they are to be called and reminded of the Millionaire School of induction. Please, leaders, anyone you haven't called and reminded the person of the Millionaire School induction, do not submit their names to me. It's your responsibility to tell them the importance of the induction. They must know that if you are not inducted in RDI Millionaire School, you are not yet a recognized partner in RDI. There are people that stay in our foundation class for 3 months, 6 months, they remain there. It shows clearly that they are not interested in building the business. So we'll just give them their username, their password, and then they can build the business anyhow they want. But if you want us to mentor you and coach you, you must go through the foundation class and be properly inducted into the Millionaire School. That's the proper thing to do. So don't submit names anymore if you haven't contacted them as leaders. That's the right thing to do. All right, thank you so much for being with us. For those of you here that haven't met me before, my name is Opala Chukunonso. By God's grace, I'm the current National Director, RDI. God bless you today and do have a lovely day. Don't forget, 8 p.m. presentation. Don't miss out. Make sure you invite a minimum of 20 persons today to the meeting and connect 750 maximum, because at 8 p.m. on the dot, the business meeting will commence. Have a lovely day. Bye.